Hello and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. It is Friday, March the 25th, and this is Connie's Craft Along. Makes me think I started a meeting called That's Fancy. Maybe that's why things looked a little bit awkward when when I was trying to get it set up. It didn't look quite as familiar as usual for Friday night. But anyway, it is Friday night. It is the weekend. And we are here to do some crafting together. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you are in the house joining me, say hello and let me know that you're here. And I'm just getting everything set up and organized. There we go. There I am. Whoop. Nope. Here I come. There I go. Okay. There I am. I am here. Hopefully you are here too. So we are going to do some crafting tonight. I have a little bit of a fancy fold, but we will go through it together. It's not overly difficult. And if you are watching, it's driving me crazy. I kind of think this is, my background is flipped from how it usually is. And I don't know why, but it's looking odd. And if I put my hand out here, so it's pointing to my window, and I have to go, well, that is where the cabinet is from the window. I don't know. But it just, to me, it's flipped from how I do other things. And maybe it's flipped from how my lunch break was yesterday, because that was just on my phone and not through Zoom. But it even, I don't know. It just, it looks like it's flipped from how it usually is. And it's kind of freaking me out. But I will cope. Alrighty. So, what did I want to share with you? I don't think I have a whole lot of new news. The last chance sale continues. I haven't, to be honest, looked at the list today, but everything on there is only available while supplies last. So if there is something that you see that you want, make sure that you get your order in soon. You can order online. If you are on my mailing list, you would have received an email that had the last chance list, as well as a link to my online store. And if you use that link with that host code, and your order is $35 or higher, I will send you a free stamp set. So there are people that have taken advantage of that already. So don't miss out. That offer runs through till Sunday. So that is to celebrate my birthday week. And it can be my birthday week because I'm still getting messages on Facebook, and I got a couple more cards in the mail today. And it's just, I am so blessed. So many people took time from their busy day and their busy schedule to send a card, send a text, send a message, phone me, send an email, something just to let me know that they were thinking about me and wishing me well for my birthday. So it's been an awesome week. What can I say? Yes, I am truly blessed. So let's get onto some crafting, shall we? Just going to flip this down. There we go. So we have a little bit of cutting. There's a good number of pieces tonight, I guess, might be one way to say it. So starting up here at the top, if I can pull this out. There we go. We have a card base that is 4 1/4 by 11, and it is scored at 5 1/2. So standard card size, but the card base is cut long ways as opposed to portrait sort of orientation. We have a piece of cardstock that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then we have a whole bunch of basic white or very vanilla pieces, depending on the color in your designer series paper. So we have two pieces that are 5 1/4 by 4. Take this right off since we don't need it on there. We have one piece that is 5 by 3 3/4, and we have two pieces that are 2 by 2 1/2. So there's all of our white cardstock. We have some cardstock. Oops, I can get rid of that now. There we go. We have 4 pieces of cardstock that are 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. We have a piece of cardstock that is 1 3/4 by 11, and that is scored at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4. Okay. We have 2 pieces of designer series paper that are 2 inches by 2 1/2 inches. I have used the New Horizons paper for this card, so that is the paper that looks like all the watercolor paintings and scenery in that. So this is actually cut across the bottom of one single sheet, but the greens are kind of different. So I'm hoping it's going to work. I think it will, because it's all colors of nature, so it should be fun. And then, of course, the usuals: some stamps, some ink, adhesive, bone folder, paper snips, and of course, embellishments. Alrighty, let's get started here. Get that out of the way. Okay, so first thing we will do is fold everything. So the card base, we are just going to fold in half on the score line. Look for my bone folder. There we go. I'll give that a nice crease. Make sure my cutting was good here. And then the other piece with the scoring is this one. So this strip you are going to Z fold back and forth. So fold that one down, which means we fold this one up, which means we fold this one down. Right? And don't worry about top and bottom. We can work that out later. It actually goes this way, but we will get to that. Alrighty, shall we do some stamping or some gluing? Let's start with some stamping. So I'm gonna move all these things aside. The piece of cardstock that is 5 1/4 by 4 is going to get layered with the piece of basic white or very vanilla that is 5 by 3 3/4. So 2 of the basic white pieces are larger, and then 1 is smaller. Okay, so you want the smaller piece because it's going to layer onto the colored cardstock. And this is going to be the front of your card, so you can just go ahead and stamp whatever you like on there. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat because I am using the Wildflower Path stamp set. I thought that would sort of coordinate with this New Horizons paper that has these little kind of flowers that look rather similar to this stamp set. So I thought that would work. And your card is going to be landscape. Okay, so you want to stamp your pictures this way. So you can stamp whatever you want on here. You can, there's no other outside sentiment piece. So if you would like to put a sentiment on the front, you should do that on here, along with any image or whatever you like. So I am going to, I've pulled out Evening Evergreen, and I pulled out Fresh Freesia and Mango Melody, because that looks like what those colors are. So I think that I will do my flowers with those colors. But first, I am going to start with a happy birthday sentiment. Haven't quite thought this one out, but you know, we're just gonna wing it. We'll see how it goes. So I think that I'm just going to put this up here. Hopefully it's straight. Doesn't look like it's going to be straight, but let's see. It's not bad, but I may just try it once more. I got too many angles and things going on here tonight. There, the block looks better, but I'm not sure. I think I just I think I just turned it again, but let's take a peek. Now I can see this through. Birthday, got a little bit of green up there. To work that out. Yes, this is better. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with that little splotch of green up there. You may not notice it. It may be fine, but I don't know. Okay, so then I was thinking that I would put some of these flowers on the front. Hello, Sarah. Welcome. Thank you for taking time up from what I know is a busy day for you. Hang on. Where? Oh, it's early morning, right? You haven't started getting too busy yet, maybe. I think it's morning for you right now. Don't make me do the math or anything, or whatever that works out to. So I think I'm just going to go across here, and I think I might actually do some stems lighter, kind of like that, just for something different. Almost 11 a.m. Okay, so it's not super early, but so thank you for joining me. There we go. This might be too many flowers now. I don't know. I was just, stamping away, stamping and talking. It's funny how I get distracted, eh? So then I have the Fresh Freesia and the Mango Melody. So I'm just going to start stamping some flowers on this stuff, and then we'll kind of play it by ear and see how it goes and all that. The beauty of the photopolymer stamps, of course, is that you can see where you're putting stuff to get things lined up, especially when you're using a light color like this. Whoops. And even though you can see it, you may still miss it. That's exactly what you want it to be, but oh well, that's okay. So there's some Fresh Freesia, and then I think I'm going to use this same stamp. There are some individual stamps that I have pulled out. Well, I've got one out right now, but there are more. But I think I'm going to put some of these mango ones on here first. I don't like where that one ends up if you don't get your angles quite right. We'll fix it with individuals. And now I'm mixing my stems. Not even sure where I'm aiming. Okay. So what other news do I have to share with you for the week? Let's see. Our ski season is fairly quickly coming to an end, I believe. We've had mild temperature, and even though it's supposed to get colder, I wasn't going to do this in Fresh Freesia, but I guess for now I will. I'll go in and fix some of these while I'm here. Yeah, we've had some mild weather, and the poor ski hills have taken a bit of a beating. So it is supposed to get colder, but and there is supposed to be some snow even, but I don't know that there's going to be enough snow to really amount to much. So, but I was talking to someone today, and I said the other thing that happens too, though, is that mentally, I kind of move on. It's like, okay, that's enough of that. Let's just get rid of the ski season. Let's move to spring. Bring on the warm weather. So anyway, we'll see. I wouldn't mind getting out once more anyway. But yeah, I think that kind of works, doesn't it? My happy birthday probably should have been a little bit higher, but it's not. So I suppose I could do it on a strip and put a border on it. I may do that, but I think I'm happy with that for now. So get these guys closed up. Okay, so that is the stamping that I am doing for the front of my card. There is some additional stamping. Sorry, I just need to clean these guys off for a minute before we move on, or I will leave in them or forget about them or something. Hey, Donna, welcome. Yeah, this is it's an interesting stamp set. It's a very forgiving stamp set. I love it because you can't really go wrong. You know, the stamps they don't all line up perfectly with each other. They're not supposed to. It's supposed to have a wildflower sort of look to it, that there's just, flowers all over the field or something. And and I like it. I have used it a few times, and it is very forgiving. So I like it for that. So, but it's kind of cute. Anyway, okay. So the other thing that you want to stamp are your two white pieces, and you could stamp them both, or you could stamp just one. They are going to go inside the card, and maybe I should show you the card at this point so you can have an idea and figure out what you want to stamp, or whether you want to stamp, or whether you don't want to stamp, sort of thing. Does that make any kind of sense? Okay, so here is one of my the other card that I made, the other sample, and I used the Expressions in Ink stamp set for this one. And this is Evening Evergreen, and it was stamped off, but it's still, I'm very happy that I stamped it off. It's shaded spruce, so it's still fairly dark, but and the leaves are also stamped off. And then I did Mango Melody and added some Calypso Coral with my sponge dauber. So, and then when you open the card up, you have this. That kind of fun. So it stands in a V. I have alternated top, bottom, top, bottom. You can do bottom, top, bottom, top. You can do them all in a row. You can do whatever you wish. I have stamped on both of the white pieces because there is still room that you could sign your name down here, or put a little message, or you could write over here or over here. I figured there was enough room that you could write on these white pieces. You could also decorate these white pieces, or you could put designer series paper in them. So many options, so little time. But anyway, this was how I did this one. So I decided that I would stamp on both of these white pieces. For this one, I was thinking I may leave one, but I'm not sure yet. So you want this card to stand like this so that it all pops out. When it closes, as you can see, if I can say, you can see everything is stacking on top of itself. So it is a little bit thick this way. If you are worried about sending it in the mail, what you can do is you just poke this the other way, and then it's still thick, but it's not super thick on one edge. The only risk there, I suppose, is that someone would get this and perhaps not realize that this pops out because it almost looks like it's attached there. If you do this, you might see that it moves, but anyway, just an option. So that's what we've got. So these are the two larger pieces of the basic white. So if you want to stamp something on those, you can do that. These are the two smaller pieces of the basic white, or the two smallest. So you could stamp on one or both or whatever you like. And obviously our designer series paper is going to go on the other two. So there we go. So let's see. I pulled out a stamp here that I've now lost. Oh, there we go. I pulled out this whole thing. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail, from Ralph Waldo Emerson. That was a nice sentence. So, and it goes kind of the other way. I wonder if it'll fit on here. Now that I'm looking at it, could be tight. I think it'll fit. I think we're going to try it. But maybe I will do it in fresh freesia to pick that up from there. Let's just see. It would fit better this way, but of course, then my card won't go together very well, I don't think so. So I will do it this way. I think it will all fit. Hopefully you will be able to read it okay. We will know in a moment. That's on the end of my wear. Guess that's a little bit of ink. Not go where. There's something. First time. Oh, look, there was something on my stamp. There's a little piece of, feels almost like hard plastic. Okay, so look, two-sided cardstock. We'll just flip that over and try it once again. And hopefully there won't be anything on my stamp this time. It's probably a good thing my cats are not allowed in the basement. I would have cat fur getting stuck to my stamps, and that will definitely show up when you ink your stamp. If you have a hair or a piece of cat or dog fur or something, and you don't get the ink on, and yeah, ask me how I know these things. Okay, we go. At least we didn't get any funky stuff after the wear. It's a little bit shifted to the left, but I think it's okay. You can still read it all. So, alrighty. So there is that. And then I also pulled out this grass stamp, because I was thinking that might be kind of fun just to put on the other piece. You could still sign it then too, I guess. Just because it's very much like the flower stalks in there. So I think that I will stamp it. If we don't like it, we don't have to use it. But I am going to I'm going to stamp off so that it's not too dark, especially if I leave the top or right in this. And I'm going to apply a fair amount of pressure here because I want it fairly well stamped off. I want this quite light. Yes, I think that works. I suppose I could have used soft succulent. That's almost, it's about what it's looking like now, isn't it? But anyway, it's evening evergreen stamped off. There we go. It's kind of fun. I suppose I could almost replicate this and put some of the Mango Melody stuff in there with what we have here. We've got some little bits of flower things. However, I think I should just, not go too crazy since I am doing this live for you. If I was on my own, I might play with it, but anyway, I think I will just leave it like that. So I'm going to make that the fourth one. So now it's just a case of putting everything together. So you want to bring in your card base, your 4 pieces of your cardstock, your 2 pieces of Whisper White. So let's get some of these things a little bit out of the way. Okay, so the basic white, if you are not stamping on it or anything else, you can just put your adhesive on it, and they go one on each side inside your card. There we go. It's one. And so I was at a Stampin' Up crafting party today for some demonstrators, but anyway, they had a couple little tutorials that they showed us, and then they sent us basically a supply list, kind of like this, of what we needed if we wanted to craft the card that they were making. So kind of an interesting card, not one that I've exactly done. So guess what? That may be coming to a craft along one of these weeks. I messed up my measurements. You were supposed to cut the card base 5.5. For some reason, I cut it 5 1/4. I don't know why, but it's not the end of the world. My card is just a little bit smaller than standard. Just looking at it sitting on the table, I don't know that you would really know, but anyway. Okay, so I had this figured out. This is, you want to start this 1 1/4 inches up. So 3, 1 1/4, so that would be here. Just lightly hold that, and then this will be straight. I'm going to actually flip it around. I'm going to let that touch. 3, 1 1/4, and this, because your strip is 11 inches long, it goes across the whole thing, so you can just line it up at the edges. Okay, and there's your W or whatever it is. Oh, there, it's a W this way. Okay, and then you're just going to attach these 4 pieces to the cardstock pieces. And I think of any other news that I have to share. It's almost the end of March already. Can you believe it? I don't know where the time goes, but apparently it does. It seems crazy. I was looking at my April calendar today, and there is already so many things going on in April, and none of them are teaching at Blue Mountain anymore. Not that I really had that in my calendar. I just kind of knew what days I told them I was available. But at the beginning of the season, my schedule changed so often. Every time I wrote it down, it seemed to change. So I stopped writing it down, and I just check in the system all the time to see when I work next and sort of work one shift at a time. But so there's those pieces. And then you want to put your white on your colored cardstock where you did your front of card stamping. Distracted by that bit of evening evergreen ink on there. I'm not sure how to do it. It's right at the top. And I don't think, even if I were to add a bow, I don't think that's, although it might, I could wrap ribbon. Maybe I didn't pull it out, but I was thinking the window pane. Oh, be right back. Window pane check ribbon. Look, it's still got the wrapper on it. I haven't even used it yet. Thankfully, it will be in the new catalog. So it's around for another year, which is a really good thing because I haven't even taken the wrapper off yet. Let's break into this and see what we think. It won't. I don't think I can put it. Could I put it up right at the top? Maybe I could. Oh, let's see. I was thinking it might distract your eyes. You don't see, but I could probably go right up to the top of the cardstock like that, couldn't I? Oh, maybe I'll do that because then my little inky bit will be hidden, and I will feel better about that because that stuff drives me bonkers. Cut that, and then flip it over, and I'm going to put some adhesive right at the very edge here of this because I want this right at the top. Cover up my ink bit. Where's my silicone mat? Go. Now, does this, my luck, this ribbon will have the front and back, but I don't think it does. I'm wondering as well if I should try and get a little bit of adhesive on here just to hold it down. Sometimes getting the tape runner onto ribbon is a little bit tricky. Can I just pull it off? No, it's still there. I'm going to put that right at the top of the white cardstock. Only attached there. So, then just wrap it around and secure it where I have the tape runner on the back. I think that's okay. And it covers up that ink bit, which possibly people would not really notice, but I knew it was there. And it was it was going to bother me, I'll be honest. Stuff like that does bother me. Oh, I just want to get a little more tape runner under this. I could cut it off, but I think this will work too. Okay, bring in the card. So maybe I'll just do it this way. Put this down on here. There we go. It kind of takes away, it fills up some of the white as well, where I had my sentiment a little bit too low. So I think that works all around. And then you just need to decide where you want your pieces. They can be anywhere you like. Maybe like that. I think that will work. We could do that. Maybe both. What do you think? Should I alternate them? Or should I do the two on the outside at the bottom? I'm almost thinking like this. Which is different than the other card, but that's okay. There's no rules. So when you are putting your adhesive on these, just remember, you don't want to go all the way down. It wouldn't really matter for these two on the end because this whole piece is attached, but it would matter for the middle pieces. So I'm just lining the tops up and I'm centering it with the score line and the edge. So you can, again, you can attach them any way you like, but that's what I'm doing. So. Oh. You could sign that or you could leave it. Like I said, there is space on the background piece. Just a little tricky to write on with the band there, but I think there's when you open it flat like this, it would not be difficult to write on. So there we go. And then that would just be, well, you can't really see that very well, can you? Okay, so we will tilt it a little bit. And there's the card. Now, I'm thinking maybe just a little bit of, a little bling because, ribbon is one thing, but it's not bling. So what do we have? We have 2021 to 2023 color jewels. So these are, oh, look, we've got all sorts of colors here. Polished pink. So there's pale papaya, there's evening evergreen, and there's fresh freesia. I didn't consciously use all these in colors. It was kind of dictated by the paper, but kind of like the fresh freesia ones. Hi Vera, welcome. It is kind of a neat fun fold, isn't it? It's a little different. It's not difficult though. And it's just a few more pieces than some cards, but that's okay. It's all just regular cuts too. There's no fancy weird things to create here. There we go. There, just a little sparkle and bling. And there you have it. So we are done early again. Look at that. there's the card that we made tonight. And here again is the other card with the pieces mounted alternating. So that's I really like this New Horizons paper. Thanks, Sarah. I have used it. I haven't used it a whole lot, and I've seen people, stamp on it, do all sorts of marvelously creative things. And I'm thinking, I just need to sit down with it and get it out and pull out a stamp set and just play. And I don't have the stamp set that they sell with it, but that's sort of here or there, because obviously there's lots of stamp sets that could coordinate with it. I think that this wildflower path is one that could go really well with it. So I should try stamping some of this stuff right onto some of the designer series paper, kind of like this. Create something like this on some of the other pieces, because there's lots of pieces to choose from. But anyway, so there's the cards. And let me just join you once again. Oops, where's my mouse? Oh, way off the edge there. Okay. And a spotlight. There we go. There, I'm back. So, okay, so maybe I just have my laptop angled differently. I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. It just it doesn't look as weird now that it's dark outside. It looked odd when it was daylight outside. Maybe that was what was messing with my brain. I don't know. Maybe it's just my brain messing with me, because that wouldn't surprise me. But anyway, I hope you had a chance to play along tonight. Hope you enjoyed that. If you didn't play along with me, hopefully you'll take some time and go back and try it afterwards. It's kind of a neat layout, and it's fun to make lots of little pieces. You can do all sorts of stamping and creating and all the rest of it. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. Next up is Monday night, where we will play with something. Haven't quite figured out yet what we will play with. Probably something that is on the last chance list, to give you an opportunity to see something in action that you may want to consider picking up before it's gone. So I'll have to check the list and see what the inventory status is, because everything, as I had said earlier, is only available while supplies last. So if there is something that you were thinking about from the current annual catalog, make sure you check the last chance list, because if it is on there, it will only be available while supplies last. So, all right, everyone, have an awesome weekend. It's been great hanging out with you, and I look forward to doing it again really soon. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.